Hi, welcome back again. So today we want to talk about matrix operations, and that is addition, subtraction, and multiplication. Now, before we do that, there are some things that I want you to understand. One, let me take this pen. This one is, yeah. So the first thing that I want you to understand is what we call order of matrix. Okay? I want you to understand that, and then I want you also to understand elements of a matrix. Elements of a matrix. Okay? So these two terms are very important because you're going to use them as you talk about matrix operations. So what do I mean by that? For example, we can have a matrix in the name of a like this one. If this is a matrix and we have 3, 4, 2, and then we have 1, 5, and 6. The order of a matrix is determined by finding the number of rows and then going to columns. So you define it by counting the number of rows, the rows, and then the columns. So if you look at this matrix, the number of rows are 1, 2. So it has got 2 rows, and you multiply by the number of columns 1, 2, 3. So it is a 2 by 3 matrix. Always start with the rows and then move to the columns. And then another thing that you have to realize is that the elements of a matrix are the individual numbers within this matrix. Like this 3 is an element, 4 is an element, and 2 is an element. Alright? Another thing that you have to know is the position of elements in a matrix. Like for example, number 3 is the first row, first column. Alright? Because this is the first row and this is the first column. Fourth is in the first row, second column. 5 is in the second row, second column. Okay, so that is how you identify the position of an element within a matrix. All right, let's say for example we also have another matrix like 1, then we have 2, then we have 0. Okay, this one as a matrix, if you are told to define the order, okay, the order is going to be, you start with the rows and then you go to the column. So the row says it is 1, 2, 3. So it is a 3 by 1, 3 by 1 matrix. Okay, so that is how you understand the order of a matrix and then the elements of a matrix. So the order of a matrix, as I've said, is the number of rows multiplied by the number of columns. You start with the rows, and then you go to the columns. Okay, that said and done, I want to move straight to addition. Addition of matrices. Matrices. How do you do addition of matrices? Like for example, what I need to do is addition and subtraction. Subtraction of matrices. All right, addition and subtraction of matrices. So the first one, we are going to talk about addition. now that you know how to define the order of a matrix and the individual elements, how to locate them, we first of all start with addition. Like for example, we have 4, 6, 3, and we have 2, 1, then 9, then we have 10, then we have 1, then 8. If this is a matrix A, okay, and again we have another matrix B to be this one, 2, 7, 0, and then we have 1, 3, then 0, then we have 8, then we have 4, then 2. As B, then you're told to find A plus B. Okay? Before you deal with addition and subtraction of matrices, you must always make sure, in fact, let me just put this as a note, that make sure the two matrices are of same order. You get that? This is very important when you're dealing with addition and subtraction of matrices, that these matrices, they must be of the same order. For example, we have you can only add a 3 by 3 plus a 3 by 3 matrix, 2 by 2 plus 2 by 2 matrix. You get? They must have the same order for you to add or subtract them. If they are not of the same order, then you cannot perform such an operation. Are we together? Good. Now, let's move. A plus B is going to be if you look at these two matrices, the first element must come, you add to the first element here. All right? So the element in first column, first row, you add to element in first column, first row. Second, first row, second column, first row, second column. All right? So this one you add to this you add to this. So how are you going to do that? It is going to be 4 plus 2, all right? 6 plus 7, and then 3 plus 0, all right? Then 2 plus 1, and 2 plus 1, then we also have 1 plus 3, 1 plus 3, and then we have 9 plus 0, 9 plus 0, and then we have 10 plus 8, 10 plus 8, and then we have 1 plus 4, 1 plus 4, and then we have 8 plus 2, 8 plus 2. So it is going to be 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 7 is 13, 3 plus 0 is 3, 2 plus 1 is 3, 1 plus 3 is 4, 9 plus 0 is 9, okay? 10 plus 8 is 18, 1 plus 4 is 5, and then 8 plus 2 is 10. Okay? So finally, A plus B is this one. You get? We move to another example. What is A minus B? All right? What is A minus B? So A minus B, you say, is going to be the value of A So it is going to be 4 minus 2 minus 2, and then we have 4 minus 2, and then we have 6 minus 7, and then we have 3 minus 0, and then we have 2 minus 1, and then we have 1 minus 3, and then we have 9 minus 0, and then we have 10 minus 8, and then we have 1 minus 4, and then lastly we have 8 minus 2. Okay, so basically this is going to be 2, this is going to be negative 1, 6 minus 7 is negative 1, negative 1, 3 minus 0 is 3, and then 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 minus 3 is negative 2, 9, and here is going to be 2, this one is going to be negative 3, and this one is going to be 6. Alright, so A minus B is this one. So basically that is how you deal with addition and subtraction of matrices. I said you need to understand order of matrices. You count the number of rows and the number of columns, alright, and then you have to know the position of individual elements in a matrix. And then lastly, when you're coming to addition and subtraction of matrices, you must always ensure that they are of the same order. Okay, so that is it for today. The next lesson we are going to deal with multiplication of matrices, so stay tuned. Thank you and be blessed.